It is Chris. It's Tuesday, May the 7th. Sorry I didn't make a video yesterday. I had a good reason. I was doing a charitable event. I mean, I was playing golf, but I was doing a charitable event for the Positive Coaching Alliance, which is an amazing group of people who teach coaches how to actually positively influence young people. Yes, it's a welcome change. So I was doing that yesterday. Then I got sick. My kids gave me some sort of virus. But I'm here. I'm persevering. So I rarely do videos on the same subject, like in close order. I like to vary it. But I cannot, not, that's a double negative, do a video on Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota today. Because if you follow this story, or if you followed the last video I made, which was about Kristi Noem and how she said that she had taken her 14-month-old dog named Cricket out and shot it in a gravel pit because it was biting and misbehaving, she can't put this story to rest, okay? So she has a memoir or a book coming out that I assume is meant to be sort of a launch of her VP candidacy. And in it, she mentions the cricket thing. She talks about how she met Kim Jong-un, the North Korean dictator. She did not meet him. So it's a total disaster, okay? What should you do when faced with a PR and political disaster? Stop digging. That's true in life generally, right? If you're in a hole, stop digging. Kristi Noem refuses to stop digging. So she did a bunch of TV hits, Newsmax, CBS, a bunch of other ones over the weekend on Sunday and Monday. And I just want to point out a couple things about them. Okay, so let's talk about the Kim Jong-un thing first. Okay, again, if you have met the North Korean dictator, you would remember that. That is not the kind of thing that you'd be like, did I meet him? Can't really remember. This is not like, did you have lunch with your brother 6 months ago, right? This is, did you meet the dictator of North Korea? Okay? You don't misremember that. It's not a thing. Okay, so she was on Face the Nation, and Margaret Brennan, who's the host, asked her about the Kim Jong-un thing. She said, did you meet Kim Jong-un? Seems like a basic question. Here's part of what Noem said. I'm going to quote. As soon as this was brought to my attention, I certainly made some changes and looked at this passage, and I met with many, many world leaders. The story says, when Brennan pressed for a clarification, Noem was evasive, refusing to admit that she had not, in fact, met with Kim. She talked in circles for the better part of a minute before finally conceding, and I quote, this anecdote shouldn't have been in the book. Now, I think what Noem is trying to do on this Kim Jong-un thing is put it on her ghostwriter. Yes, these politicians have ghostwriters. These are people who they sort of record. What she did is she talked into a recording device or her phone or whatever about her experiences, and then the writer typed it up. But she told the ghostwriter she met with Kim Jong-un. Like, the ghostwriter is not going to just make that up. And I'll note one other thing on that front before we move to the dog piece of this. Kristi Noem read her own audiobook for this book. I've done that myself. You sit in a room, you read your text, and you record it, right? It's the voice that if someone wants to listen to it on audio, that's the voice they heard. Well, Noem was this voice. So she read the fact that she was, in fact, having met with Kim Jong-un. And yet, she hadn't met with Kim Jong-un. Okay, so this is all ridiculous. All ridiculous. Let me move on to the dog. So she's on, first of all, shooting a puppy is never good politics. I don't care if it's a farm dog or a suburbs dog or whatever. Shooting a dog and talking about it is never good politics. We've talked about that. She was on a show over the weekend and was asked about it. And what she did was pivot to Commander, which is one of the Biden's German Shepherds, who did bite a bunch of people. She suggested that Commander should have been shot. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, stop talking about shooting dogs. Commander was, by the way, like given to another family or something, like, which is what most people do, or like go for dog training, or like do a few things before you kill the dog. This is an utter debacle. Like, it was already bad, right? It's already bad when your memoir is focused on the 14-month-old dog you shot and killed. But when we're now talking about you're making up things about world leaders, you're saying the Biden's dog should have been shot because you're tough or something. This is all so dumb and such political malpractice that, yes, I had to make a second video about it. This is that video. Anyway, thank you as always for your support. Subscribe, like this video, spread the word to 5 of your friends. I appreciate it. I'm going to be doing more stuff on this YouTube, hopefully with some other creators. We're going to do some collabs. So stay tuned for that. All right? Take care. See you tomorrow.